EDC, or Every Dad Carries as I like to call it. Throughout human history, people have always carried their most important items on them, from Otzi the Iceman over 5,000 years ago carrying a copper-bladed axe, a flint dagger, a leather pouch, polypore fungus strips for first aid, plus much more, to people like this security guard with 35 weapons.
Oh my God, I bet you can't hit a backflip, goddamn.
Or the modern average Joe that just has a mobile phone and a set of keys on them. Everyone carries differently, but we all carry something, and today I'm going to go over my EDC wallet and share with you what I carry. What is up everybody, welcome back to Daylight Chaser and to another garage session. Now as many of you know, finding the perfect EDC can feel like a never-ending battle, and I'm no different. For many years I've tried different carries. Like I generally like to carry a wallet like these, just like a slim leather wallet for my cards. And then I would usually accompany that with like a tool pouch like one of these. But I recently picked up a new wallet on special and a new torch, and I've tried to consolidate my carry into one pouch and as lightweight as possible and as practical as possible for my application. So I found this bad boy. So I'm going to go over the loadout of this. Hopefully you guys get some ideas or just enjoy watching EDC content like I do. So let's check this thing out. So the wallet that I picked up is called the Alpaka Zip Pouch Pro. It's a lightweight, heavy-duty wallet and pouch combination made of X-Pack material with an RFID blocking layer for peace of mind. It has 3 external pockets for gear and 2 zippered compartments. Holds 4 to 12 cards depending on what else you carry inside. Generally internally I only keep about 5 cards inside here, and you can keep some spare cash as well, as I usually like to. Just for backup. So this one has a nice orange 210 denier ripstop interior which contrasts well with whatever's inside. And the 2 zippers are YKK AquaGuard zippers, which provide a nice water barrier that complements the overall water resistance of the wallet material. This material has a high abrasion resistance and it was originally used on racing boat sails, funnily enough. I like to keep my gear in these front 2 pockets to keep the setup as slim as possible. I keep the back one free, as this side is usually what keeps against my pocket. So I just don't like having anything in that back one. In the front, however, we keep the classic, the Victorinox Compact. This model originally evolved from the Victorinox Golfer back in 1991, and for those of you who are not familiar with EDC gear, let me introduce to you one of the multi-tool goats. This is a lightweight and slim multi-tool with plastic scales and 2 layers of tools. Victorinox market it with 15 features, but they do include this keyring as one of those, so it's more like 14. And I keep a little leather lanyard on this just to make it easier to remove the tool. The main cutting edge on this is about 60 millimeters or 2.36 inches, made with a good quality stainless steel that has great rust resistance, is easy to sharpen and holds a decent edge, and really favors a daily workhorse like this. As you can see, I like to keep this thing shaving sharp, as a dull knife is a dangerous one. And here is just a rough little idea on the dimensions. When it's open, it's about 165 mil or 6.5 inches. There is the blade length again. And closed length is about 91 millimeters or 3.5 inches long. And the thickness here is about 15 millimeters or 0.6 of an inch thick. One of the best features of this tool is definitely the scissors on it, which are easily some of the best multi-tool scissors ever made. I use these for everything from cutting fingernails, zip ties, ropes, paper, you name it. These little beauties will cut it. Another tool here is this combination one, which features wire strippers, a can and bottle opener, a nice flat-bladed screwdriver on the end. And this angle here was actually designed to fit into some Phillips head screws and not strip them, which I have used successfully before. In the scales here is a set of steel tweezers, which can come in handy if you need to remove a splinter or a stubborn body hair. On the other side, also in the scales, is a little pen cartridge here, which gives a nice little backup pen in case you lose your main one like I like to. And next to that sits a reusable toothpick to keep your fangs clean. Here is the corkscrew, and hidden under this normally is a little small pin in the scales, which I've lost. And on these I like to keep this tiny flat bladed screwdriver, which just screws in like this. In here is a small file area. I usually like to file my nails on it. You can use it as well to strike a match. And here is a little hook, which was used in the past mostly for picking up parcels that were bound with string. I find it most useful for undoing over-tightened knots on gear or shoes. And I suppose you could almost use this as a bit of a self-defense tool or glass breaker in a dire emergency. You don't want it to fold up on your fingers. This thing has been in every carry that I've had. I've always just had this with me. Weighing in at approximately 64 to 66 grams or 2.3 ounces, and having all these features make this thing a great addition to any EDC, and that is why it gets my first spot in this wallet, just in this larger section here, like such. And then next up we have the torch. So this is a new torch for me. This is the RovyVon Aurora A3 Gen 4. This thing is super compact and lightweight EDC torch with easy operation. Just double press to turn it on, and then a single press to cycle through the 4 brightnesses. The lowest being this 5 lumen moonlight mode, with memory function to save your favorite settings. It's housed in this quality feeling alloy body with a USB-C rechargeable 300 mAh battery. I keep an orange paracord lanyard on here just to make it easier to remove from the pouch, while also giving me a nice 3-finger grip onto the torch, and it matches the colors of the wallet nicely. It does include a detachable pocket clip, which I don't keep on it. For the torch nerds, the LED used is an SST20 with a max brightness of 650 lumens and an IP6 water resistance. It does also come with this optional magnetic tail cap that you can put here on the keyring section, which can be useful if you need to use the torch hands-free. You can stick it to a metal object like the body of a car, or in this case, the side of a WD can, just as an example. But I find this thing really good for the size. My first experience with a RovyVon torch, I did pick it up almost half price, so this thing is great, and it gets my second spot here in this section right there, just leaving a little bit of a tail hanging out just to make it grab easily. And again, no clips to catch on anything. So next up is pens. Obviously there's a heap of different compact pens you can find. Like this orange poker pen fits nicely, and I do like the color of it. But I've also got these, this is a Brass Fisher Space Pen, which again also fits perfectly in here. But recently I have discovered this little bad boy, which is the Zebra F301 Compact. This is a nice little steel-bodied pen. That overall length of this thing, when it's in its lid, is under 100 mils. So really nice compact size. And the beauty of this is when you put it in its lid like this and open it up, it turns into a full-size pen. So a lot of smaller pens, you really have to pinch them to write with them. This just feels natural. I really like the way these cartridges write. They're relatively inexpensive pens, so that earns my third spot in this wallet and just sits next to the Victorinox on either side, like this. And the last little bit of gear that I keep inside this thing is a section of Gorilla Tape that I've folded onto itself to be about the size of a credit card. Gorilla Tape has so many different uses, so it's handy to have a nice little section of it able to grab. Then I also keep a sort of mini first aid kit here in this plastic card holder that I've chopped up. Inside is just 2 alcohol swabs for disinfecting, 2 large fabric plasters or band-aids, which I just keep the ends folded down, and both of those just sit tucked into there like that. And then I also have 2 smaller fabric band-aids with the nice little pictures on them for the kids. If your kids are anything like mine, they're always doing daredevil things and getting scrapes and bruises, so it's good to have these on me all the time. And they all just sit in there nicely like this. And the last thing I keep in there is just a heavy duty safety pin, which has also again multiple different uses. You can repair gear temporarily, help with getting splinters, all kinds of stuff. They're fairly small and light, so I just keep one in this kit like this. So altogether, this is a really small bit of kit. It doesn't weigh anything. You definitely won't notice the extra bulk, and that just sits in this back zipping section like this, out of the way. But it is nice to have those things for when you need them. That's pretty much all the things I keep in this wallet. Again, there's about 5 cards inside, spare cash, and 3 tools on the front, and a little mini first aid kit on the back. And the good thing about this is it fits perfectly in my little dad bag, as I like to call it, which is just a Fjallraven hip pack, I think they call it, high coast hip pack, and it just fits in there like this. And this thing stays nice and compact. I'll go over this waist pack in another video for those that are interested. Yeah, ultimate dad fanny pack. And as a little bonus, I thought I'd throw in some EDC knife options that I like to carry. So this is a nice handmade leather Australian pouch, and inside I keep a slip joint. This is the Civivi Elementum in good Bersha wood scales with a black stonewash blade finish. The blade was made to comply with a lot of strict knife law areas, so it's under 3 inches at about 75mm or 2.96 inches, and obviously a non-locking blade. The Civivi Elementum has been around for a while, so it does have really good ergonomics, I find. I do have the pocket clip removed, which does make holding it even nicer. Nice walk and talk, and it sits nicely in this little pouch in the pocket, barely noticeable. And the other option which I've recently acquired is this Spyderco Delica 4 lightweight. This is the 4th gen of this. I think it's been around for over 30 years. It has really nice VG10 blade steel made in Seki City, Japan. This is definitely the sharpest factory knife I've ever received. The ergonomics for my hand, I find them perfect. It's easily become my favorite. You can hold it multiple different ways, and each way is definitely feels very confidence inspiring, I'd say, with the grip on it. It has a nice mid back lock. You can close it with one hand with a little bit of finesse. Just watch those tips of your fingers. I've added a deep carry pocket clip to this, as the standard one sits quite high. This thing is a great little lightweight EDC knife. Definitely my new favorite. I wouldn't always carry this thing on me, but it really has earned a place in my kit, and I managed to score it for almost 40% off, so I do love a good EDC bargain, as I'm sure many of you also do. The little tassels on here, I'm sure would annoy some people. For me, I haven't found much of an issue with it. I carry usually in my back pocket of my trousers, so to me, it's not a big deal, and it does help with trying to pull it out sometimes. So Other than that, I can't really fault this pouch. Like, the material, the quality, the zips, like, everything is just really nice. So if you can find this for us on sale like I did, you should, if you're interested in a pouch like this, you should definitely consider getting one. That's pretty much it for this little video. There's not much else I can say about this awesome little setup, but I enjoy carrying it, and I enjoy getting to nerd out a little bit on some gear talk when I'm not out doing adventures and stuff. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one.